Good morning. Welcome to the session number 7. I'll be continue with the same chapter number 6, that is molecular basis of inheritance. Today I'll discuss transcription. So, in the previous session we studied the very important aspect that is said to be central dogma. That means it is the flow of genetic material from the DNA into protein. So, here there are two important steps. First is synthesis of mRNA from the DNA. This process is said to be transcription. And synthesis of proteins from the mRNA, this is said to be translation, and together is said to be, what do you call? Central dogma. So, what is meant by central dogma? It is the flow of genetic material from the DNA into protein. So, it includes the first aspect. This part is said to be, what do you call? Transcription. So, what is meant by transcription now? It is the synthesis of mRNA from the DNA template strand in the nucleus. That process is said to be, what do you call? Transcription. So, what is meant by transcription? Synthesis of mRNA from the DNA template strand in the nucleus. That process is said to be transcription. Now, synthesis of mRNA from the DNA, so that imagine this is the DNA. A portion of the DNA that take part in transcription, this is said to be transcription unit. What is meant by transcription unit? A portion of the DNA that take part in transcription, that is said to be transcription unit. Now coming to the parts of transcription unit. This is 5 prime, this is 3 prime, this is 5 prime and this is 3 prime. Here there is a presence of promoter, here there is a presence of terminator. This is promoter, this is terminator. And this strand is said to be coding strand, and this strand is said to be template. This template strand is also said to be antisense strand, and this coding strand is said to be sense strand. And from here to here, this part is the structural gene. Now, transcription, it is the process of synthesis of mRNA from the DNA template strand in the nucleus. So, the portion of the DNA template strand that take part in transcription is said to be transcription unit. So, now this is the transcription unit, which consists of only 3 parts. First is the promoter, next is the terminator, last is the structural gene. Coming to the first part, promoter. So, now these two are nothing but DNA strands. which run anti-parallel to each other. Here what happens, one strand acts as a template for the synthesis of mRNA, and this strand is said to be antisense strand, and another strand is said to be coding strand, does not act as a template for the synthesis of mRNA. This is also known as sense strand. And then this is the coding strand, and this is said to be 5' region, this is the 3' region. And here in the coding strand, and this part is said to be upstream direction, and this is said to be downstream. So this is upstream and this is downstream. Now coming to the parts of transcription unit. Transcription unit consists of, first part is the promoter. So this is the promoter region. So promoter present towards the proximal part. That means upstream direction. Upstream direction, that means at the 5' region you can see there is a presence of promoter, so that RNA polymerase enzyme. So that RNA polymerase enzyme that binds to this region, so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA. So what is meant by promoter? Promoter, it is present at the 5' region of the coding strand, and here there is an attachment of an enzyme that is said to be RNA polymerase, so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA. Now coming to the next is the terminator. This is upstream direction, this is downstream. So terminator that is present on the downstream part of the coding strand. That means it is present at the 3' region of the coding strand, so that it stops the synthesis of mRNA. In the terminator region, there is a presence of Rho factor, round shape helicase, so that it separates the mRNA from the enzyme. So promoter present towards the 5' region of the coding strand, so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA, and here terminator that is present towards the 3' region of the coding strand, so that it stops the synthesis of mRNA. Now coming to the last part. From here to here, this part is said to be structural gene. It is the part of the template strand where there will be a transcription takes place. That means there will be a synthesis of mRNA. So totally how many parts? 3 parts. Promoter present towards the 5' region of the coding strand, so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA, and then terminator, it is present at the 3' region of the coding strand, so that it stops the synthesis of mRNA, and then structural gene, it is nothing but it is the part of the template strand, so that generally the transcription takes place. This is about the transcription unit. Next we will move on to transcription in prokaryotes. Coming to the transcription in prokaryotes. Synthesis of mRNA from the DNA template strand in the nucleus, so that the process is said to be transcription, and it takes place in prokaryotes. Now coming to the transcription in prokaryotes. This is the DNA strand, and this is 5', this is 3'. This is 3', and this is 5'. So now, this is the double stranded structure. Here, transcription in prokaryotes, there are 3 important steps. First is said to be initiation. Here what happens? There is a presence of an enzyme. This enzyme is said to be RNA polymerase. It is said to be core enzyme. This RNA polymerase cannot recognize the promoter region that is present in the coding strand, so that there is a presence of a protein. That protein is said to be sigma factor. So that sigma factor binds with the DNA dependent RNA polymerase, and then this has a capacity to detect the promoter or identify the promoter, and it helps in attachment. So when it helps in attachment, naturally it initiates the synthesis of mRNA. That process is said to be initiation. So what's meant by initiation? RNA polymerase enzyme along with the sigma factor that binds with the promoter region of the coding strand, so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA. This process is said to be initiation. Now coming to the second step. This is 5 prime, 3 prime. This is 5 prime, 3 prime. Now, after initiation, what happens? This sigma factor separates, and then this remaining part of the enzyme is said to be core enzyme. This core enzyme which moves along the which moves like this, which moves along the template strand. So what happens? There will be an addition of ribonucleotides. So here after initiation, what happens? This sigma factor separates, and this remaining part of the enzyme is said to be, core enzyme is said to be RNA polymerase, which moves on the template strand like this. So there will be an attachment of what? Ribonucleotides like this, and this is said to be second step, and this is said to be elongation. So what is meant by elongation? After initiation, sigma factor separates from the enzyme, and the remaining part of the enzyme is said to be core enzyme, that is RNA polymerase. RNA polymerase which moves on the template strand, there will be an attachment of ribonucleotides to form an elongated mRNA. This process is said to be elongation. Now coming to the last step, that is termination. Same thing, this is 5 prime, this is 3 prime. This is 3 prime and this is 5 prime. And here, due to this RNA polymerase, when reaches the terminator, it stops the synthesis of mRNA, so that here there will be a like this. So, due to the presence of terminator that is present towards the downstream direction of the coding strand, it stops the synthesis of mRNA, so that here there will be a formation of elongated mRNA. So now in the terminator region there is a presence of Rho factor, round shape helicase, so that this particular Rho factor separates the enzyme from the mRNA, so that this process is said to be termination. So together how many steps? 3 steps: initiation, elongation, termination. What's meant by initiation? This is the double stranded DNA, and this is said to be enzyme, that is DNA dependent RNA polymerase. So this RNA polymerase cannot recognize the promoter, so that there is a presence of sigma factor that is associated with the enzyme, so that it binds with the enzyme, and this sigma factor of the RNA polymerase that recognizes, that binds to the promoter region, so that it helps in initiation of mRNA synthesis, that is said to be initiation. And the second step is, after initiation what happens? This sigma factor separates, and the remaining part of the enzyme is said to be core enzyme, which moves on the template stand. There will be an attachment of ribonucleotides to form an elongated mRNA, that is said to be elongation. And then this RNA polymerase finally reaches the terminator in the coding stand. Terminator region, it stops the synthesis of mRNA. Along with that, it contains Rho factor, so that it separates mRNA from the enzyme. This is how the synthesis of mRNA that takes place in prokaryotes. Now we'll move on to eukaryotes. Transcription in eukaryotes. Here also there are same three important steps: initiation, elongation, and then termination. First, coming to the initiation. Same thing, double stranded structure. 5 prime, 3 prime, and this is 5 prime and 3 prime. In the initiation step, what happens here? This RNA polymerase, this is RNA polymerase, DNA dependent RNA polymerase. This RNA polymerase now binds to the Tata box in the promoter region. That means in the promoter, imagine this is the promoter. There is a presence of Tata box, that means TA sequence, or maybe GC sequence. There will be a repeated sequence of this, therefore it is said to be Tata box. This TA box, commonly known as Goldberg Hogness box, name of the scientist who identified this. So in the promoter region, there is a presence of this type of sequence, that is TA, or it may be TA, GC. Therefore, it is said to be Tata box. So here what happens? This RNA polymerase that recognizes the Tata box that is present in the promoter region, so it binds with the Tata box of the promoter, so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA. That is the first step. I repeat, initiation means in case of eukaryotes, RNA polymerase or DNA dependent RNA polymerase bind to the Tata box that is present in the promoter, so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA. Now, after initiation, what happens? When this, same thing, this is the 3 prime, 5 prime, and 5 prime. When this RNA polymerase moves on the template stand, there will be an attachment of ribonucleotides, and the second step is said to be same thing, that is elongation. When after initiation of this, what happens? This RNA polymerase moves along the template stand, there will be an attachment of ribonucleotides. And then there will be a attachment of ribonucleotides like this. Or I can use this yellow color so that it can be easily visible. This is the mRNA strand. This is the 5' region and this is the 3' region. So that you can see there are two different types of genes. This is said to be exons and these are said to be introns. So, after initiation, when this RNA polymerase moves on the template strand from here to here, there will be an attachment of ribonucleotides. So, this results in the formation of, this is said to be heterogeneous nuclear RNA. Why this is said to be heterogeneous? Because there is a presence of two types of genes. The one is said to be introns, second one is said to be exons. So, introns do not code for amino acid and exons that code for amino acid. So, there are two types of genes, introns and exons. Introns do not code for amino acid, exons that code for amino acid. Here what we have to do is, we have to remove this intron and we have to join this exon, isn't it? I will write it here. So, this is 5' and this is 3', and here we have to remove this introns and we have to join this exons by a process known as splicing. So, what is meant by splicing now? Removal of introns and then joining of exons. This process is said to be splicing by an enzyme that is said to be spliceosome. So, this results in the formation of like this. This is 5' and this is 3' and this portion is said to be heterogeneous nuclear RNA. Now, this heterogeneous nuclear RNA has to undergo capping and tailing. We already studied this part in the mRNA structure. So, it has to undergo capping and tailing. That means towards the 5' region, there will be an attachment of this cap, that is nothing but N-methyl guanosine triphosphate is get attached to this part and this is said to be capping. Like that, towards the 3' region, there is a presence of polyatyl. That means poly means many, A means adenylate. Many adenylate residues are get attached here. This is said to be tailing and this is said to be capping, so that fully processed heterogeneous nuclear RNA is said to be now what do you call? This is said to be messenger RNA. I repeat, transcription in eukaryote. First what happens? First step is initiation. That means RNA polymerase that recognizes or binds to the Tata box in the promoter so that it initiates the synthesis of mRNA. So, after initiation what happens? This RNA polymerase when moves on the template strand, there will be an attachment of ribonucleotides to form heterogeneous nuclear RNA. This step is said to be the second step. This is elongation. So, after elongation what happens? This RNA polymerase when reaches the terminator, it stops the synthesis of mRNA, and here what happens, there will be a synthesis of smaller bits. There are two different types of genes that are synthesized. The one is said to be introns and second one is said to be exons. Introns that do not code for amino acid and exons that code for an amino acid. So there is a presence of two different types of genes, therefore this is also known as split genes. So that it contains introns and exons. So what we have to do is we have to remove these introns, we have to join these exons by a process that is known as splicing by an enzyme that is said to be spliceoso. So what is meant by splicing? It is the removal of these introns and joining of exons. So now this is said to be heterogeneous nuclear RNA. Now this heterogeneous nuclear RNA has to undergo capping and tailing. So towards the 5' region there will be an attachment of N-methylguanosine triphosphate to form capping. Towards the 3' region there will be a attachment of number of adenylate residues to form tailing, so that fully processed heterogeneous nuclear RNA now said to be what do you call messenger RNA. And these two are very, very important for the examination, either prokaryotes or in eukaryotes, how there will be a synthesis of mRNA takes place. Now coming to the next very simple topic. Here, next is RNA polymerase. There are three types of RNA polymerase, 1, 2 and 3. RNA polymerase 1 helps in the synthesis of rRNA, ribosomal RNA. 2 helps in the synthesis of messenger RNA. And 3 helps in the synthesis of transfer RNA, smaller nuclear RNA, smaller ribosomal RNA. So there are three types of RNA polymerase. DNA dependent RNA polymerase, 1 helps in the synthesis of rRNA, 2 helps in the synthesis of mRNA, 3 helps in the synthesis of transfer RNA, smaller nuclear RNA and smaller ribosomal RNA. Coming to the last aspect of this session, frame shift insertion or deletion. You have to understand one example, that is Ram has cap. These 3 letters that represents the nitrogen bases that codes for a particular amino acid. Now Ram has, I am adding B. In the next sentence, Ram has B. I am adding one more. Last is Ram has, I am adding one more letter. So Ram has cap, I am adding a group of 3 nitrogen base here. Coming to the next example, Ram has red cap. Ram has, I am removing this. Next, Ram has, I am removing these 2 now. Next, Ram has cap. So that in the first example, I added this big. In the second example, I remove this red so that frame shift insertion or deletion means addition or deletion of one or more codon so that the reading frame remains unaltered from this point onwards. That means here I removed big, Ram has cap. I removed this part, so from here the reading frame remains unaltered. Cap remains as it is. Like that here also, Ram has red cap. I remove red. So, addition or deletion of one or more codon. So, the reading frame remains unaltered from that point onwards is said to be frame shift insertion or deletion. Here there is an, what do you call, insertion, and here there is a deletion. When we add or removed a particular codon so that the reading frame remains unaltered from that point onwards. This is said to be, what do you call, frame shift insertion or deletion. So in this session we studied transcription, synthesis of mRNA from the DNA template strand in the nucleus, and the portion of the DNA that take part in transcription is said to be transcription unit. And then we studied the parts of a transcription unit: promoter, structural gene, terminator, and then we studied transcription in prokaryotes, transcription in eukaryotes. So in case of prokaryotes, there is a initiation, elongation, termination, and then in case of eukaryotes there will be a presence of two types of genes. The one is said to be introns, second one is said to be exons. So introns do not code for amino acid, so we have to remove introns and we have to join exons by a process that is said to be splicing by an enzyme is said to be spliceoso. So this results in heterogeneous nuclear RNA. This has to undergo capping and tailing that results in the formation of mRNA. And then we studied frame shift insertion or deletion, so that if we remove or we add a particular codon, from that point onwards the reading frame remains unaltered. This is said to be frame shift insertion or deletion. I hope you understood this session. Thank you.